The new S26, the base model, is out now, along with the Ultra and the Plus. And honestly, the S20, as much as the S26 Ultra is a bit of a boring upgrade, the S26 is really disappointing. And it's disappointing because of a few things, but mainly it's because of the iPhone. Because of the new iPhone 17 that came out last year and how good it was in terms of value, all the stuff it had. I mean, it was such a big upgrade. It was such a complete phone that the S26 needed to compete and needed to have something strong to take on the iPhone. But after seeing the launch and knowing about the product, yeah, I don't really have a lot of hope for this one, and I feel like it's not really an option anymore. I mean, it's not even a comparison anymore. Just get the iPhone, in my opinion, because of what the S26 is. Now, the S26 does have a bigger screen now. I mean, it's 0.1 inches bigger, and that's good. And it has a slightly bigger battery, 4300. Although with the screen, I don't know how much of a difference the battery life we will get. And then there's the cameras. As far as I know, there's no change in the camera setup, and that's a big problem considering how old this phone is. And what else? The main, yeah, it does have some software, some good software. It has the amazing stabilization from the Ultra, and I didn't think that I would get it, but I guess that means that this is a software thing and it can be done with software, so that's great, I guess. And sure, the photos are good and all, but the price tag, it is a problem. And the main problem is the fact that this phone is coming with an Exynos processor, and that itself is enough to just not get the phone out, because I used a Samsung phone with an Exynos processor, and yeah, it's not really great. What people tend to notice with Exynos processors are they do tend to heat up under load, and the battery life, it's not as good as the Snapdragon versions, and that's also a processor. But this new processor is a 2 nanometer processor. It's the first ever 2 nanometer processor, I think, and it has 10 cores compared to a Snapdragon which has 8 cores. I don't know how much of a difference that would make. But honestly, with Exynos, the problem, I don't think the problem was ever the nanometers or the processor or the cores available. It was just the manufacturing itself, how it was made, and because of that, this processor, well, we don't really like it. And the fact that this phone has this processor and the price tag, it's at the price tag is 26. When I looked it up, it's at under 88,000 rupees. And so I looked up the iPhone 17 to see if the price increase, because I think there's 26 price increase because of the RAM stuff and all that. But the iPhone, at least on the site, it seems like it's at the same price, under 83,000 rupees. So the iPhone is 5,000 rupees cheaper and a better phone. I mean, honestly, what does the S26 have that you can use to compete against the iPhone? Other than that, stabilization. I mean, in terms of specs, not much. I don't think there's anything really big to say. I guess it has an extra telephoto lens, but I mean, that telephoto lens is not the lens that everyone wants to use. It's if it was a periscope lens, that would have been great. And I heard some stuff that it would have a periscope lens, but that didn't happen. And because of this just still feels like a base model phone. And with the price tag, I don't know. I don't feel like it's really worth it anymore. Unless you really want Android, then just go get the iPhone. That's a far better value phone, the 17. Or wait till next year and get this phone on sale. I guess at that point it would be okay. But other than that, the S26, I feel like it's just a really disappointing phone, and I don't see any good enough reason to buy this phone, because considering what this phone is offering, I'm guessing that at some point, either next year or the year after that, there's probably going to end up being a huge upgrade for everything with the phone, the cameras and all that. and that'll probably be the best time to get it because this phone feels like a lot of the stuff that it's using it's at the end of its lifespan and it has to change at some point. So yeah, the S26 it's just not a good enough deal. And the S26 Plus, I mean, it's a bigger version, but that phone never felt like a good enough value. It was kind of stuck between the Ultra and the regular model, and it felt like a halfway thing. And I don't think it really satisfied anyone enough, considering what this phone was. So the S26, it's just an it feels like a minor upgrade to the S25, even though the processor is no, it's 2 nanometer, 10 core, and all that. Because it's an Exynos, I don't really have a lot of high hope for it. But I guess we have to wait and see. Maybe this does end up being a good phone. But honestly, considering everything that's happened with the Exynos, for people to get their trust back with the Exynos, we'll have to wait at least a year and see how well this phone performs in the long term and whether it's really good. And next year, then maybe the S27 with the Exynos would be a good deal. But yeah, right now, yeah, this isn't really a good enough phone. And if a Snapdragon version of this comes out, well, I guess that would be a bit better, but still not a good enough upgrade. Yeah, it's not. It still wouldn't be enough. So the S26, it's a big disappointment this year.